heard from Mark Neild earlier in the news, but North Melbourne Premiership player David King has come out and said Melbourne has picked the wrong bloke as coach. Andrew, you were at Carlton when the Blues and Dennis Pagan were going under some similar pressures as well. How does something like that have an effect on the playing group? What do you think the Melbourne players have got going through their mind at the moment?
Yeah, it's obviously a pretty tough time for them, and you know, we come up against them this week, and you know, they'll be trying to fire and get their season rolling. But I guess it is pretty tough times. We went through four years of tough times. I think we had 2 wooden spoons. So I mean, it's just about the players sticking together. I think from those years we've still got maybe 15, 16 blokes that are still there. So it's just where they can stick it out and start to play some good football.
I'll tell you what, though, that's gutsy by David King to come out and say what he said, because it takes a lot of well, I'm trying to get out of here words that I'd love to say, but it's not appropriate. But I tell you what, when you're going to say something like that, you've got to be able to back it up. And David King put his heart on his sleeve there. I don't know if they're the right words to be said on that type of show, but when I looked at it, I went, poof, they're pretty harsh words. So.
I mean, surely the question has to be asked, not the coach. Have they got the cattle on the field?
Is it the bloke to be asking the question? I don't know. It could be somebody else that's been around and probably 50, 60 years of age, but yeah, I probably questioned that a little bit, but yeah, it was a bit harsh.
You don't have to say fair. I mean, the list isn't that good, though. I mean, so you can't point the finger at Mark Neild, though. I mean, you've got to have the cattle out there as well. I mean,
yeah, but it's not about the cattle. It's the way they're losing. That's what everybody... people don't mind... People
don't have the players out there.
No, look, I feel sorry for Neild. No, I'm not trying to have a go at him. I'm just saying that the players have got to... They got to look in the mirror, Ronnie, and they just got to start having a go and putting their body on the line for him. And the club and the Guernsey, more importantly.
Well said, Gilbert. Well
Mick, there's one player that I want to touch on. Is Lindsay Thomas. I love watching Lindsay Thomas plays. He's been criticised a lot in the media about his goal kicking and that sort of stuff. I mean, it must be frustrating for you guys too, because you work. I mean, you played in the back line through the midfield. You get the ball up there in the forward line, and it's tough to get it up there. And your forwards are there to kick goals and reward you guys. And how do you guys get him up and going? And I mean, obviously, it must get you guys really frustrated because he. I mean, not pointing the fingers at him, but I mean,
get the question out wrong.
Actually, I'm trying to. I mean, how do you get around? How do you support him around there? I mean, at the club. I mean, he must be that. His confidence must be just shot.
Yeah, it is. Look, Lindsay does so many great things for us, and his pressure, and you know, he creates opportunities as well. But he has missed some easy shots. But you know, it's not through lack of effort. He's out in the track trying. You know, his goal kicking routine. You consistently see him, Aaron Edwards, and Drew Petrie out there having shots at goal, and some of our younger forwards as well.
Is there someone down there helping him?
We've got Brett Allison, who's our forwards coach, who was a very good shot for goal and good kick of the footy. So Lindsay has a routine. I think he's just got to have to go back to it. And as Walks will probably know, as a forward, you know, follow your routine. And you know, in critical moments of games, he needs to stand up for us. And you know, we've got every confidence he can do that.
Michael and Walk, I mean, Delidio, he's had a question mark where he was, like his status. I mean, that game last week, and he was sensational. He really got him back in the game. Well, he really won the game. Where do you see him as an elite player? I mean, after that game last week, I'd put him up in the elite.
Yeah, he's so damaging. Just his foot skills, he can really slice you up. He's a fantastic user of the footy, and I guess that's why Richmond loved to use him coming off half-back. But, look, he's the sort of player who can play anywhere. I'd love to see him go through the midfield and just, you know, he gets it 30 times a game. So, you know, if he can get the ball in damaging positions and kick goals, he's a real weapon.
So everyone knows, touchdown for the County. He ain't got long to go. But this is nowhere to say goodbye. We all come back home. Touchdown for the County. But I gotta look away. But I'm not ready for goodbye. Tell me that it isn't so. Touchdown for the County. He ain't got long to go. But this is nowhere to say goodbye. We're gonna come back home. We're gonna come back home. We're gonna come back home.
Dave Larkin once again, ladies and gentlemen. Well done, buddy.
Thanks, Grant.
And Dave, you've got a new album coming out soon. You're writing some new stuff for a new album?
It's getting there, mate. It's getting there. You might hear one at the end of the show.
Oh, I hope so. Now, look, you got a couple of gigs coming up in Melbourne for the Melbourne people here.
Saturday, June 2 at Phoenix Public House in Brunswick is our next show. Tickets still available at davelarkin.com.au.
Okay, now, say, Dave, it's Grant. How you going? Any chance of getting a return phone call at all?
Like I said last time, brother, we don't get much reception over here in Perth.
Well, but you're talking about...
He hasn't paid He hasn't paid his credit.
David,
I gave it to you, that's why.
with your foundation, you said you're coming to Melbourne. Are you going to go nationally right around the country with it? Is that
we're
the dream?
already delivering out of we're delivering out of Queanbeyan and Canberra, New South Wales, and eventually all through the Pilbara and down south of Western Australia. But eventually have a national footprint, which is the ultimate goal. But most importantly, have the opportunity to be able to work in with other existing organisations to be able to have a massive impact with Aboriginal people when it comes to education, health and employment. So if, you know, we're a charity. If I had a company, I suppose I have a different mindset. You want to be on top, but we want to make sure that we do the best and create pathways for our next generation.
Obviously, you've left the Western Bulldogs, and apart from the colours, what's the difference between your stay at the Western Bulldogs and, albeit a short term so far, but your stint at West Coast so far? What's been the difference in the two clubs?
I think there's a big difference in the ruckman. I went from a big German to a big black Fijian. So, but the difference has been amazing for me. Like the change just to come back home and have the family surroundings. You know, like just the support from everyone's been amazing. And just coming home, they've all made me feel, you know, welcoming me back home. And like the staff of the club have been amazing, and the players have been just so comforting to be amongst, you know, at the club. And it's just, I feel like I've been there for years, and it's been a great change for me.
It's a great concept, the Indigenous Round. It just keeps continuing to grow and just shows the love for Aboriginal people. And you know, we want that impact on all different areas, and obviously the football's done that.
It's been a long journey, but we're getting there, and this is a big part of it. I'm really proud of this kind of concept. It's not just because it's red, black and yellow, but because I barrack for the Bombers too, so there you go.
Dreamtime at the G has become one of the biggest events on the AFL calendar.
And together with the Long Walk, it's become the centrepiece of Indigenous Round.
And tonight, let's celebrate the contribution made by Indigenous players with the fans.
So who's your favourite Indigenous player running around there at the moment?
I've got to say Nathan Lovett-Murray. I think he typifies everything that the Indigenous players are about.
Chris Yarran, the way he can run the ball out of the back line and take the game on with his speed.
Lance Franklin, he takes good marks, kick good goals.
Paddy Ryder, because he can jump and he's a really good ruckman.
I'd have to say it'd be Cyril Rioli. He's pretty spooky out there. Yeah, and plus he's a Hawks guy. Yeah.
Probably Alwyn Davey. He saves us a lot from losing, and he can run out of the middle very quickly and get goals.
But I reckon Travis Varco's running really hot when he comes back on the thing. He's always a danger man.
I reckon Shane Edwards. I love his energy when he kicks goals, and he's great at running.
And what do you think makes Indigenous players stand out in our great game?
Well, their freakish ability to run and jump.
They've just got some uncanny knack to be able to find their way around. I've played with a few of them. They seem to be able to change direction without even slowing down.
They pick up the ball young, and they very, very athletic, very, very quick and very, very strong. They're incredible.
Probably their passion for the game.
They seem to have a skill about them that other players don't.
Just the love of the game. Like it's our game, Marngrook, so we grew up with it, so I'm pretty sure we've got something different than everyone else.